KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. Again, that's 800-361-3491.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou. Lou is one of you and will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou is like you. He's on meds too.
Call 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. Again, that's 800-349-6855. Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Today's show is supported by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than more than you know. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you don't understand, plus a whole lot more. For more information, call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or you could visit them online at nocourt.us and tell them the circus sent you. Just for more information, that is. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, as well as AMP TV and Hotel Television. Now, Sonar, don't you hate when you have a unruly professional sports athlete?
Oh, my goodness. They're the worst. And they got the biggest ego in the entire world.
They do. They do. Well, how about Antonio Brown? How about Antonio Brown? Everybody knows Antonio Brown.
He's the flavor of the week.
Wide receiver. He's the flavor of the month, possibly the flavor of the year. And there goes any chance of Antonio Brown ever possibly playing in the National Football League again when he says, beep, the NFL. Of course, we can't say the beep, but I'm sure you have an idea what that means. Now, Antonio Brown blew up on Twitter yet again with this message, quote, "Imagine conforming to a system, giving it 100%. To see them treat me like this is unfairly. Sick. Making money off my beep and beep." So he says, beep, the NFL, and I'll never play in that beep treat. And the way they treat black people is the worst. Beep. Clear my name and go beep yourself. Close quote. That's unbelievable. I mean, this guy, he just can't keep his mouth shut. You want to
talk about a sore loser in life. That's what that is. That's when you have nowhere else to turn. Everybody else has turned away from you and said, you know what? You're not worth it,
You're
man.
on an island, kid.
You're literally saying exactly why no one wants you on their team. This is it. You're putting up an example of why no one wants you.
Exactly. Now, according to NBC Sports, it's unclear why Brown has blown a gasket this time. His long-anticipated interview with the league official's office of investigating him under the personal conduct policy for civil allegations of sexual assault and rape will occur a necessary step towards his eventual return to football. I don't think that's happening. Apart from his obvious frustration at the delay in scheduling the meeting, something apparently had happened to make him think that he won't be getting a fair shake and or that the NFL already has made up its mind. Regardless, Brown's latest message to the league will do nothing, nothing at all to basically enhance any chance that he may have had in playing, certainly this season, in the NFL. Now, since being cut by the Patriots, the Browns, and let's face it, this guy has had a problem with the Raiders as well, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Come on.
He has obliterated. What's that?
Come on. If you have a problem with the Raiders, you've hit rock bottom.
This guy has wrecked every possibility in my mind that he can actually play football again in the National Football League. You know what? Maybe they'll take him in the XFL, and he could borrow that jersey from that one guy that used to have that shirt that said, "He hate me." I think actually that would be a really good fit for him.
No, exactly. That type of attitude is exactly what you need in WWF and the XFL. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the next place for this guy to go, since he has such a big mouth, I would love to see him in mixed martial arts. Let's see him in the UFC.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens there. Let's see if he can, if his behind can cash the check that his mouth is writing. You know what I mean?
No, exactly, man. You got to have some class if you are going to be considered an elite player, which I'm sure he considers himself that. But that's
really,
just him.
On the performance on the field, he really is an elite player. The problem is, in the game of life, he is certainly in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, you got to have that class to go along with it. Do you think Peyton Manning was tweeting stuff like that when he hurt his neck? Like, there's so many elite players that have gotten a really bad shake. And none of them went to social media or any of this stuff and dogged on the NFL. Because you don't bite the hand that feeds you, Sal. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Right. Social media is a big problem in itself. It's an enormous problem. And unfortunately, people get wrapped up in it because their egos are so large, their heads are so big. I don't know how they fit through the doorways. But still, when you've got an ego problem and you're being paid millions and millions of dollars to do what? Play a game that you love, play a kid's game. Yeah, it's an adult's game, but it's a game you played as a kid. I mean, for Christ's sakes, act like an adult, go cash your paycheck, and go have some fun. Stop being a moron.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head, man. You said the magic word. Game. It is a G-A-M-E game.
Right. It's every bit of a game, and he's getting paid to play the game. Mad money, crazy money.
So
I mean, let's face it, the average American makes, what, $40,000 a year? $38,000, $40,000 a year.
So you have
this guy
to play
makes that in 3 snaps.
So you have to play the other side of the game. The NFL is a game in itself. You're playing football. Then there's the other side of the game where you have to create a strong community. You have to act cordial. Like, that's the other side of the NFL game if you think that you're going to be an elite player.
Yeah, and remember, elite is not just on the field.
Exactly.
Elite is something you carry off the field into the community. You practice it at home when no one's looking. That's called integrity, folks. And all we're trying to do is what? We're trying to do something and keep politics out of it. Because remember, sports and politics don't go together. Now, we've seen that over and over and over. And personal politics is an absolute train wreck and bad for the National Football League.
You are airing out your dirty laundry. You're airing out your dirty laundry out there for everyone to see. And know what, man? You are not going to get any sympathy votes. Not at all when you talk like that.
No, I don't know who would give him a sympathy vote. And frankly, I think he's reeling right now. He's on an island saying, somebody please help me, but I can't keep my mouth shut. I don't know what to do. Somebody quick blow it up. Yeah. And that's pretty much what's going on. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
He blew up possible way.
He blew up his entire spot. Whatever chance he had of getting a hearing or any of this other stuff, he has already demolished it. He came in like Miley Cyrus, like a wrecking ball.
One bit of advice for you, Antonio Brown.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Back here in a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. We have a special guest. You're going to be very surprised, and you're going to like this one, folks. Don't go anywhere.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Once upon a time, there lived 3 energy hogs. Now, an energy hog is what you have when humans waste energy. One day, the 3 energy hogs set out to find themselves a cottage.
Let's look for leaky windows,
Said the first energy hog, for he knew that would waste energy.
Let's look for leaky doors,
Said the second.
Let's look for a swing set,
Said the third, for he had more blubber than brains. So they set off down the road. Presently, they came upon a tiny cottage where dwelled a clever girl named Dreadylocks.
I hope it has leaky windows.
Cried the first energy hog.
I hope it has leaky doors.
Cried the second.
I hope it has the bathroom.
Cried the third, for only his brains were smaller than his bladder. But Dreadylocks liked playing cool games at energyhog.org. And from energyhog.org, she learned how to use energy wisely. So the 3 energy hogs were forced to look elsewhere to waste energy and had to use the disgusting restroom at the gas station down the road. And the moral of the story is, to use energy wisely, log on to energyhog.org or waste not, hog not.
This public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you in part by Cali Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help you with getting out of sitting at hours of traffic every day, back and forth, and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Cali Vegas right now for more information at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. Or get more information on Cali Vegas at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them the Sports Circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, as well as those watching us on AMP TV, as well as Hotel Television from Honolulu all the way to Boston. Folks, we have a very special guest. In fact, why don't we just let him introduce himself? Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. It's Tim Donaghy.
All right, Tim, thanks for joining us today. All right. So Tim, 13 years in the NBA as a referee. You've pretty much seen it all, haven't you?
Definitely. I've seen a lot in 13 years for sure.
What's the most unusual thing that you've seen on the court that you still can't explain today?
Probably the Malice at the Palace, where the players went up into the stands and were fighting the fans, and then the fans came down out of the stands onto the court and started fighting with the players. That's probably one of the most strange and unusual things I saw in 13 years.
Right. All right, so what's the coolest thing you've seen in 13 years of doing it that you're just like, wow, I can't believe that's happened?
Probably Kobe Bryant. I had one of his games where I think he had 70 points, triple teams, falling down, shooting three-pointers, and hitting nothing but nets. So probably one of Kobe's games where he just dominated beyond belief.
Right. Okay, so you've seen everything on the court. You've seen everything from different perspectives in the National Basketball Association, as well as in the game of life. I mean, we all have, hey, I wish I could have done this over or that over. But let's face it, over time, you have found yourself in a little bit of hot water. You found yourself in a place where you wrote a fantastic book. And then at the same time, now you're in the middle of a film. Tell everybody about the book first, and then I want to jump into the film piece.
The book's called Personal Foul. It's a story from beginning to end, what I did and how I did it, how I ended up betting on NBA games, winning at an 80% clip, being caught by the FBI and spending 15 months in a federal prison because of a lot of poor choices that I made. And it goes from top to bottom what those poor choices were and how it affected not only myself but my family.
Right. Now, by the way, that book, I think people can find that on what venue? Where can they find that?
Amazon.com.
It's on Amazon. Okay, great. All right. So you had a book that kind of gave a nice bit of insight, but now you transition. Now you've got yourself a film. Tell everybody about Inside Game. Look, I can read the synopsis from pick your favorite review. It doesn't matter, but I want to know what your thoughts are on Inside Game. Tell everybody a snapshot about it, and then we'll kind of take her from there.
Inside Game is a movie from Tommy Martino's perspective, which was he was involved in the scandal with James Batista. He had a cousin who was a venture capitalist and was worth well over $300 million, bought his life rights, and got a screenwriter and made a movie. I didn't want to be involved in the movie at first because, I was just hoping at some point the story went away. But then they said they were going to do the movie with or without me. They came back to my house, showed it to me. I felt there was a good message in the movie about personal choices. And at the end of it, I decided to jump on board and do some marketing for them. So the movie turned out pretty good. It's from Tommy Martino's perspective, and it shows a lot about choices and how this thing really affected our families.
So go back to the choices side. Some choices are voluntary, some are sometimes a little involuntary. Now, I know that from growing up on the west side of Chicago. I get it. But sometimes it's kind of like, you can take the boy out of the hood, but not the hood out of the boy. So when you talk about choices, on a percentage basis, how many of those choices do you believe from a percentage standpoint, 30, 50, 80%, whatever, how much really was your choice, or otherwise maybe there were some other consequences?
A large majority were my choice, but what happened was when I was gambling with a buddy of mine at the country club, when we were winning, I didn't know he was passing those picks along to people associated with organized crime. And with that being said, when I didn't want to do it anymore and we were going to stop, those people that were getting those picks were making millions and millions of dollars from it. So they wanted to continue to get that information. They came to a hotel I was staying at in Philadelphia, sat me down, and basically told me if I didn't continue to give them the picks, that they were going to expose my gambling habits to the NBA, and it was in my contract that I wasn't allowed to place a bet of any kind, or worse yet, send somebody down to Florida to visit my wife and kids.
Right. So, all right, fast forward to the last couple of years with the casinos being in bed with professional sports. Me personally, I have a problem with that only because I feel from my own perspective, it's just my opinion, I believe many of the games are compromised. What is your opinion on that?
I can only speak from the NBA and from being on the inside and showing them, how to officiate the games, especially during playoff series when a team's down, and how they show them tape and really show them to concentrate on certain things that put them at an advantage and a disadvantage. And most of the time, the team that's at a disadvantage is the team that's up in the series, so that these series go 5, 6, and hopefully 7 games. They'll put the referees in a room, show them videotape of previous games, and show them what they need to concentrate on, and they're going to grade them that night. So they want them to call those things, and it's going to be something that it's going to help that team that's down in the series.
That's interesting perspective. I would have never thought of that. Folks, we're here with Tim Donaghy, 13-year NBA referee. So let me ask you this. As we move forward in the NBA and the partnership in betting, do you believe that, going all the way back to when you were reffing and obviously beforehand, there probably had been something in the mix where somebody may have done something, maybe they didn't get exposed, whatever. But it just seems to me in today's time, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, even the Kentucky Derby, there are so many highly questionable judgments or calls that I would swear, on my own eyes, I'm watching the NFC Championship game, and I'm saying, oh, my God, this has to be the biggest fix of all time. How remarkably embarrassing for the National Football League. Now, we've seen it in every league. We've seen it in horse racing. We've seen it in soccer. We're seeing it in cricket. How much of that really, in your opinion, really happens, if any?
Well, I can tell you this. Michael Francisi, I don't know if you know the name. He was a captain
of course.
in the Colombo crime family who has since become a preacher. And he told me that there were 3 NBA referees on his personal payroll in the mid-1990s, and none of them were named Tim Donaghy. So this was going on before I was there. It was going on when I was there with other referees. And I don't know if it's going on today, but I think it goes on in every professional sport. And it's all about money and who can grease who. So I think that it goes on a lot if that's the question that you're trying to get.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I just feel that it's almost like, I hate to say it, but it's like they're cheating in plain sight, and it's disgusting. It makes me, the avid watcher, I'm a former baseball player, and I've seen pitchers get squeezed that shouldn't be squeezed. It's ridiculous. I'm this conspiracy theory guy. I always think, all right, look, I see something here, it doesn't look right, and me being from the west side of Chicago, I know what the neighborhood knows. And for me, I see something that's not right. When I see it not right, I'm going to tell the audience about it. That's what I do. So I'm not everybody's flavor of the month because I voice my opinion, Tim. But I got to tell you, when I see something, I say something.
I like it. I like it a lot.
That's right. That's why we're going to bring you back when you have more time, because I know you're running on time a little bit here. So what I figured we'd do is we'd keep you on for a segment, and then we'll give you a chance to tell everybody about everything you're working on. Obviously, you're an accomplished writer, and an entrepreneur as well. I want to hear a little bit about that. Maybe take 30 seconds to talk about that, if you will.
Yeah, I have a website called refpicks.com, and it's a website where we help people who use gambling as a form of entertainment, guide them through the system. I help people with NBA. We have a baseball, football guy. So it's something that, we're hoping to help people with, so that at the end of the week they're collecting from their bookie and not paying their bookie.
Right. It's funny because, people don't hear the term bookie around too much anymore, because now you can have all the online betting and so forth. But there's still guys in the neighborhood that are still paying the local book joint. They're still paying the local guy that knocks on the door on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think when you talk about betting at some of these legal places, it's tough to do that because they're not issuing any credit. So you're always going to have the underground bookies that are going to issue that credit, and people are going to go through.
All right, Tim, how can people follow you real quick?
Tim Donaghy and the number 2 on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and my email's all over the place too. So anyone that usually gets to me with any type of questions, I usually get back to everybody.
All right, that's great. Folks, we're going to bring Tim, if you want to come back, you're always welcome back. We want you when you have a little bit more time. How's that? Good?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just with this movie, I've been doing 15 interviews a day, and it's just been difficult. But,
wow.
Yeah, I'll be glad to be back on again.
Thanks again. Tim Donaghy, folks, 13-year veteran NBA referee. We're going to be back here in a minute on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Once upon a time, there lived 3 energy hogs. Now, an energy hog is what you have when humans waste energy. One day, the 3 energy hogs set out to find themselves a cottage.
Let's look for leaky windows,
said the first energy hog, for he knew that would waste energy.
Let's look for leaky doors,
said the second.
Let's look for swings then,
said the third, for he had more blubber than brains. So they set off down the road. Presently, they came upon a tiny cottage where dwelled a clever girl named Dreadylocks.
I hope it has leaky windows,
cried the first energy hog.
I hope it has leaky doors,
cried the second.
I hope it has a bathroom,
cried the third, for only his brains were smaller than his bladder. But Dreadylocks liked playing cool games at energyhog.org, and from energyhog.org she learned how to use energy wisely. So the 3 energy hogs were forced to look elsewhere to waste energy, and had to use the disgusting restroom at the gas station down the road. And the moral of the story is, to use energy wisely, log on to energyhog.org, or waste not, hog not.
This public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is supported by American Business Trust Company, helping companies with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing those companies with physical locations or on the internet. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO, abtrustco.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's 657-600-1876 to learn more about the American Business Trust Company. Call them right now, 657-600-1876. Call them today. Get that information right away. And welcome back to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu, all the way to Boston on WBNW, and a bunch of points in between, including Las Vegas, Public Radio 97.9 FM, as well as our friends in sunny Southern California, KCAA 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM, our NBC, CNBC, and NBC Sports affiliate, also Westwood One. And, of course, the people on the moon and those watching on MTV and streaming. I'm trying to give everybody a shout here. I don't really know where else you need to go here. But got to tell you, man, that was a really good dialogue with Tim Donaghy in the last segment. I wish we had a little bit more time.
No, absolutely. And that was one of the great things about that interview you just had, was you made some points that it's not just Tim out there. And Tim said the same thing. He said that there were 3 refs in the 90s that were on the payroll. So it's that
I have
point.
an idea who 2 of those were, too. I'm not going to say their name. I don't know nothing.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. It goes.
I don't know nothing.
It goes into, if you watch the trailer for the movie, the guy in it says they may know what we are doing, but they can't prove it. So right there, it shows that is something that constantly goes on. And I wish I could have asked him how betting and betting on the games has actually changed the way that the games are played and the way that that players perceive the games. Because back in the day, you bet on it. That was it. I mean, I keep bringing up Pete Rose, but it's the same thing. A player could easily go in and not be tracked or anything like that and just say, hey, man, I may twist my ankle. I may throw... Exactly. I may throw more curves and eventually someone's going to pick up on it. So it's that kind of thing that even if the players are even remotely close to the betting side of it, it's going to change the game.
Right. Now, Joey Pierogi from Chicago sent in a message. He said, I often wondered about the Bulls losing to extend playoff series. Because, when Michael Jordan was playing, man, those guys, they could have swept the world. It's just the way it was. And I think the only team that really – there were 2 teams that really gave them the fits, and one of them was the Utah Jazz, really taking them down the wire. And I also believe the Phoenix Suns in the finals, they really handed it to them. And, the Phoenix Suns actually could have stolen it with Charles Barkley. They just couldn't win that pivotal Game 6. Or actually, it was the Game 5 at home because they actually had the home court advantage over the Bulls. And I want to say that was in 1996. Yeah, because 97 was Utah, 98 was Utah as well. So I think those 2 teams between Utah and the Phoenix Suns, they really could have done that. But the other series, I mean, come on, man. The Bulls were just too damn good. They could have swept everybody.
MJ is a saint. If the only reason that he stretched any kind of series was just so that he could play more basketball.
You could be right on that one. I don't know. You might be onto something. I mean, that guy is just phenomenal. But I'll tell you what, without Scottie Pippen on the court, those 2 really needed to be together. And we saw either player by themselves. And, yeah, they were still very, very good. But with those 2 together, it was unstoppable. Absolutely. And everybody else that wanted to stand in the way.
Well, exactly. Well, exactly like you said, it could be a case of, hey, MJ, I need you to go down in round 6. You know what I mean? It could be that, where someone says, hey, let's make it to 6 games. I know you can bang this thing out, but let's try to make it a little bit further. Let's stretch this series. And I wouldn't put it past the NBA to go to him and say that and say, hey, we got to sell more tickets. We got to sell more spots. We've got to make a bit more money. You can't keep closing it out here, man. You can't just keep shutting everybody down because it takes it back to every once in a while you got to let your little sister win so that she still plays the game with you.
Not for me, buddy. No. Never let them win. But I'll tell you what, it was a little bit obvious in some of these series that maybe there's a little bit of monkey business going on. And look, what I didn't do is I didn't put Tim in an uncomfortable spot. And I'm sure he's used to being berated by everybody. Come on, give me the dope on this, whatever. I'm not going to do that. I mean, look, our audience in Las Vegas, of all places, on 97.9 FM, Las Vegas Public Radio, let me tell you something. there's a lot of monkey business that goes on here in Las Vegas. Same stuff that happens on the west side of Chicago, same stuff that happens in upstate New York, same stuff that happens in Toronto and Connecticut. And for all you people that know what I'm talking about, even in Boston, you know what I'm talking about. So believe me, you guys know, I know, but the balance of the world may be in, I don't know, Pocatello, Idaho, or whatever it is. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's better you lived in a somewhat sheltered world. But ultimately, what are we talking about here? Money! It's all about money. Give me. You know what I mean?
No. Tim made a mistake. He paid for his crimes. And now we can all see the exact story that happened. And I'm going to, he's such a great guy. I'm going to plug his book again, Personal Foul, a first-person account of the scandal that rocked the NBA. And that's exactly what it did, Sal. It rocked the NBA. It put all of this betting and cheating and officiating in the limelight. It put a spotlight right there on it and said, hey, guys, this is something that is out there, and this is something that we need to address.
Yeah, but don't you think that maybe there was 3 or 4 different officials? Let's just say a group of 4 officials, because, they work in teams and crews and stuff like that. Don't you think that maybe a couple of these guys could have possibly conspired against Tim Donaghy and said, that's the guy, all right, feds, you go after him, just exonerate us?
No, I can believe that.
Listen, there was one guy that I know of that was in that world that conveniently retired at about the same time, and he's a longtime referee. Folks, if you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know, Google it. Check out who had retired at the same time that this guy got popped. And there's one of the guys that very well possibly, I don't say that did, but that possibly could have ratted him out. And remember, the neighborhood, what do? You never rat on your friends, and you always keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you never rat on your friends unless it's somebody who's already going down for it. Then everybody points their fingers at the guy that's inevitably going down. Come on, right, Sal. We know how that neighborhood works.
No. This is the rule in the neighborhood. Always keep your mouth shut, no matter what, and never rat on your friends.
Unless somebody's taking the fall. Tim could have easily been the fall guy. Tim could have easily done it, and the scapegoat or the guy that was chucked onto the bus, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people other than Tim that were doing those things there. It just so happens that now Tim paid for it. Now he's got an amazing movie coming out.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he's a part of the movie. The movie is basically the other guy's perspective, but it's basically about him and the process and what was going on. I'm actually interested in going to see this movie because, look, I haven't seen a movie in a couple of years, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to go see this one because it kind of hits home. And, I'm that conspiracy guy, and I've seen a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have seen. You know what I mean? So I try to keep my nose clean, and I always keep my mouth shut, and I never rat at my friends, right?
No, exactly.
That's what you do.
No, and Tim paid his price.
Street, Chicago. Come on, man.
That's the thing. Tim said it himself. He paid his price. He got through it and made sure that he was a whistleblower for it. He wanted to point it out. So even now, when he goes with his refpicks.com, he's using that same eye of the refs to go through and say, look, this is what a ref may be looking at. I
love that he brought that up. I love the fact that he brought up, hey, maybe the league is, if they want to extend the series, all right, refs, this is what you've been missing. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at maybe this guy is taking an extra half step, or he is pork chopping when he's got the ball to wrap his elbow around and get to the hole, whatever it is. I love the fact that he actually brought that up because nobody ever talks about that.
No, you're absolutely right. Those are things that only a ref's eye will be able to pick up. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was other refs that caught him doing what he was doing. That they were saying, hey, this is a little fishy.
Surprised if they were in on it.
Yeah.
And all they did was they blew the whistle on him. All right, you take him away and leave us alone. That's why I said I believe that there was 1 or 2 of these referees that conveniently retired right when this guy got popped. I think that's what happened. Okay.
Sorry, Tim, you may have been the fall guy.
You guys could walk away. Tim, we're going to take you away, but we're going to let these other guys go. And I think that's really what happened. What do you think about that?
No, I could absolutely believe that. He said it himself. There's more than one ref. I mean, it wasn't just him out there going and making bad calls.
Right. And that's the thing you got to look at, folks. This is not necessarily an individualistic thing. This is a group effort no matter what. I don't care what these people may say out in the media. All they're doing is lip flap. But guess what happens? The truth comes out at some point, and some people take the fall, and some people don't. Folks, we're going to be back in a few minutes here on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere, and don't bet on your friends.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou. Lou is one of you and will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou is like you. He's on meds too.
Call 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. Again, that's 800-349-6855.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broke.
Of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Folks, make sure you check out the sportscircus.com for our future guests, our prior guests, our podcasts. Check out our partners as well. A lot of great charities that we're affiliated with. Really good people, good organizations. Make sure you click on those website links and go ahead and the same thing with Las Vegas Public Radio. Make sure you check out that link right on the homepage. Great organization, really doing the right thing for the greater good. 97.9 FM in Las Vegas, KIOF. And of course, you can always say the Sports Circus sent you as well. Great articles and very good people. Some good straight up people. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, MTV, and Hotel Television. Had that great interview earlier with Tim Donaghy. Boy, the reviews have been fantastic on it. Folks, make sure you jump on AMP TV, and you can watch my giant cranium live on television. And we're also live on KHMP television in Las Vegas, channel 18.8 as well. All right, so I have a question for you, Sonar. And we're going to stick with that whole gambling thing because we kind of went there with Tim Donaghy earlier. You know what I mean?
Yep, gambling day. Let's roll them dice.
Come on, baby. Let's go. All right, so my question to you is when somebody goes into, let's just say we'll stick with a professional athlete. We're going to speak in terms of generality, right? So we don't plug anybody's name or whatever. So let's just say you're a professional hockey player, for example. And let's say that you like to gamble. And maybe you're in town, and maybe you're going to play a game, whatever. And let's say you had a game the day before, and let's just say you were concussed. All right, you got hit really hard. Maybe you had a fight or two, whatever.
Which is easily done as a hockey player.
Okay, so you got into a fight, and let's just say you got your head kicked in, whatever it was. All right, so you go to the casino that night or maybe the next morning, and you're still feeling a little woozy, whatever, but you want to have a drink, you want to unwind, whatever it is you want to do, right? Or even after the game. And so what happens is you go to the casino and you pull a marker, right? So you have the credit line, the proverbial credit line. And so you go and you borrow some money from the casino to play so you don't have to carry stacks and stacks of cash around. And so what happens if you lose that money, you go back and you get more money. You lose that money, you go back and get more money. You lose it, get more, lose it, get more, lose it, get more. All right?
As you do.
This is a live example now. This is from a particular player for the National Hockey League. But let me ask you this. If you fill a credit application out, now I've never seen this in my life. If you fill a credit application out, is there a provision or a clause in the agreement that states you have to be of sound mind and body? I've never seen that. It's not like a life insurance program. You know what I mean?
That, I think, is a clause. It's almost like a unwritten rule of contracts. Like
but this is about written.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't go to an insane asylum and have them write away everything that they've owned because that's not going to hold up. I guess there is a way that you could spin it to a lawyer or anything else. But the problem is going to a casino, that money is already spent. You turn so the other thing is if he didn't lose that money, if he won that money, could the casino come back and say, sorry, he was out of his mind? See, why does it work one way? Why does it work one way but not another?
Hold on. This is not about winning or losing. I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about is qualifying to actually receive money, period. Whether you win or lose is after the fact. That's secondary. The primary issue is the fact that you actually go and acquire money from the casino because you have a credit line, right? And so it's kind of like with an impaired driver. So if somebody has one drink, for example, and you're drinking and driving, you have one drink, and you're below the legal limit, yet you're still partially impaired, let's just say, but yet you're within the legal limits. Is that scenario equal somewhere in the credit world? And I ask the reason is because, look, if you're going to issue somebody, I don't know, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 at a time, whatever the heck it is, doesn't matter. If you're going to put money out there to your patron, and your patron says, great, I have a line of credit for $10 million, whatever the hell it is. Well, guess what? At some point, whether they win, lose, or whatever, let's just say they lose hypothetically, and there's a collection term. So it's kind of like being in the courtroom saying, well, temporary insanity, right? And so if a player was concussed, this is where I'm going with the hockey player. If the player was concussed, that means that they were temporarily incapacitated. Now, can that temporary incapacitation be brought into the courtroom to fight against a gambling debt to be collected from a casino?
Possibly. See, my thing is the only leg that you have standing right now is the fact that it's a medical condition. If I get so plastered that I sign away my entire mortgage for a credit line and lose that, there's no way that I'll be able to claim, I was too drunk. Well, you're at a casino, dude. Welcome to the club.
Well, wait a minute.
The thing that you have, but that's what I mean.
Hold on.
The leg that you
That
have to
scenario-
stand on is that he was concussed and that it's a medical issue. That's the issue. It's not that he went out and had a couple drinks. The leg that he has to stand on is that it's a medical issue and something that can be proven because of repeated concussions.
Right. And so my question lies, whether he wins or loses or draws, it doesn't matter. Should they have issued money to this individual because this player was recently concussed? Because they're not of sound mind and body. I asked the question because this is something that casinos and credit organizations, remember, you can get a credit line in a casino. If you have a jumbo contract, for example, you're a pro athlete, you could get yourself a casino credit line inside of 10 minutes. Oh, hey, I know you already make $50 million a year or whatever the hell it is. Let's go ahead and give them $10 million. It doesn't really matter. But my point is, it's like giving the person that's already drunk off their butt, giving them another drink in a bar when the bartender is responsible, because then the bar becomes responsible for basically aiding somebody that's already impaired. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what you're saying now is that everybody who issues a marker needs to also be a nurse or doctor of some sort so that they can recognize when someone is concussed or on Ambien or on any other medical procedure that they might have. You don't know the mental capability of the other person that's signing that marker. That's the problem. So should you have it just like you have all of the bosses? Should you also have a doctor on staff that when someone asks for $1 million, they come in and they slap them in the face and say, "Are you crazy? $1 million?"
No, that's not what I'm referring to. Here's where I'm going with this, because we're running on time. Where I'm going with this is from a corporation standpoint. And let's just take one of the local casinos here in town. Let's call it the Sam Boyd Group, right? For the Boyd Hotels, which has 30-odd casinos around the country, whatever. All right, so let's just say it's the Boyd Group, and let's say they have a department in there called corporate compliance, which they do. Every major corporation has it now. You're required to have it because of the whole Enron scandal. So is there somebody in compliance that's going to force the people in the casino cage that issues cash on hand to do some kind of a verification? Is this person of sound mind and body? Why? Because if they're not, then they could technically beat it in court and beat the casino out of $500,000. Because why? The personnel issued money to somebody that was not of sound mind and body. Thus, they could probably get out of that debt. That's where I'm going with this.
Exactly.
And that is a big problem that people have not looked at in the casino business that I am looking at. Your Ringmaster Sal. That's why you're hearing it first on the Sports Circus. Nobody else is talking about this. You know why? Nobody else has the nerve or the backbone to talk about it. That's why we're doing it here on the circus.
No, exactly, buddy. Any time that you have to have a briefcase that is handcuffed to another person for you to fulfill your marker, that is when you need to also be escorted by the doctor to make sure that he can check your pupils.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there has to be some measures in there. They're going to have to implement something, because I brought this possibility to light, and here on Las Vegas Public Radio, of all places, right here in the entertainment capital of the world and arguably the gambling capital of the world, buddies, and I say buddies as in all the casino owners and all the employees that actually have a say, you guys and ladies are going to have to make some kind of adjustment in the way that you handle your compliance, because you could get beat out of millions of dollars and you don't even realize you left a giant hole. And that giant hole right there is really going to cost you at some point. Take cover, because it's coming, kids.
Sal, next time I'm in town, I need you to sock me in the face so we can get this scam a-rolling.
I'm telling you, man, it's a great scam, and I'm glad that you thought of it. All right, folks, that's it for today. That's it for today. I'm your Ringmaster Sal for Sonar, and for Tim Donaghy, our earlier guest, thanks for tuning in. Everybody have a great day. So long. Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.